Albert's Voice Tech. We're going to talk about today how to stop things from running in the background, especially if you're playing online games or you're doing anything that is required to do. So I'm going to put that one over here. Delete. You'll see a blank screen. You won't see. I'm just gonna show you here. Task Manager. Another one is services.msc. So this is what you have to look up. Depending on what you got. So here, this is the Task Manager. Here, Control Delete. It's Alt Control Control Delete on the keyboard will pull up this. Or you type Task Manager in the settings on the Windows 11. It'll bring it up to. You want to go to the Startup menu, and you see here, for instance, I can right click and it would say disable. I would disable that. Disable that. There's another way of doing this too. I don't know if I can remember the command. Let's see. Hold on. Whoops. I can't remember the command. There was another device you can call up to look up what's starting up in Windows, but it's all right. MS config. Let me see if that's what it is. Let's see. MS config. I don't know. That's not it. Or maybe just MS config. It's been a while. Can't remember. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's been a while. When you don't use something for a while, it's tricky. All right, so see, now they changed it. Before here, you can disable. So before you would set this to the maximum number of processors and the maximum number of RAM. Let's see if we can hover this. It's the most tricky thing to get that thing started. I know how much RAM is in here. I had 32. One stick went bad. Let's see if we can get this to hover. I want it to show. Might not work. No. Let's see if I can get it to work. I won't try it. Maybe it won't work because of screens. Well, that does is just tell you how much RAM you got. So you put the maximum number of RAM in here, and it would boot up. Say you had 4 gig, you would put like that, and you would put the maximum number of RAM in there, and the computer would boot up with that RAM. You don't really need it anymore to do so. So we don't need this anymore. This is the old configuration. This has been around since Windows 3. Okay. So what you're doing here is this. You're going to disable things. Like, if you don't want Katana, you can do it from here and disable it. Sometimes you might have to go into, this is Windows Pro. So we would have to go flag R edit.msc. That's group policies, and you go into group policies and change it to. You would turn on a feature, and you would force Cortana not to run in here also. So administrators would use this, but if you have Windows Pro, you have access to this. You could do the same thing with Home. It's just a little different. You'd have to make some changes in the registry. Okay, so we're not gonna play with group policies. Okay, so because a lot of you are gonna have Home, Windows 11 Home, Windows 10 Home, like this. This is needed for the mouse that I have for the board, because one of them is for Wi-Fi, one of them is for Bluetooth. So Logitech figured, hey, we can activate Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so the customer would have both powers. No, it's okay. Right now I'm just using it. I should use that. In the game, I still have to be forced to use a mouse. In both games I play, I get used to it because I feel comfortable. I maybe because I can if in the tank game, the World of Blitz, if the tank is coming at me, I can go down on the tank with the I have a game keyboard and a game mouse, but I got the Logitech. This one here was his business class, but it's just bad. They don't have gaming in this setup. It's all wired. They figured it would be a lag, but that's what this is for. I have to run 2 extra services just to get that to go. But anyway, let's get this straight here. Microsoft Teams, it comes up, and it can drive me crazy. So you can right click here and disable it. You have to reboot when you disable anything in here, you have to reboot the computer. It's not going to happen automatically. But anything you feel that you don't need, like the phone. Oh, shoot. Let me go back. More details. Okay. The phone. If you have your Android, Apple phone, and you told Microsoft, hey, I want my phone to be linked, and if I got a call, I want it to pop up on my screen. So yeah, you can be watching TV. Well, it depends how you use the Microsoft. But Microsoft does have video service. They got it through. None of you have, I know we're not talking about that, but it's through Microsoft Store. Because if you're familiar with MCE, which was Windows, good Lord, I can't remember what it was for. Well, you'll be able to watch TV on your computer. I had a whole network set up for that. I had network tuners, HD tuners. I still have them. Oh, I can still use them. I just have to get home run system. I ain't gonna pay all that money for that. It's not worth it. I mean, gee, everything's streaming now on the internet, so what's the sense of getting all that? I mean, I would have a DVR, but then again, you have to spend more money. So you have to spend money on recording through them using your tuners. Since I have 2 tuners, I can record up to 4 things. But you can buy a device at Walmart for dirt cheap, and you can do the same thing if you want to record off the TV. I don't really have nothing to record off the TV. I really don't watch the TV. Everything is off the internet. I don't even have cables here. I got the cord. I have a dual antenna system that I built with a distributor 8 signals to split this. First of all, we have the signal coming in from the south and the signal coming in from the north. Right now, when I first started, got 60 channels, 70 channels, 80 channels. It's over 100 channels. It's getting there, but they're all high definition. It's clear. It's 5.1. The guy from the cable company came out because the power company was working out there and cut my line. So the cable company came on. He said, "Wow, you got this. I built this myself. Wow, you put it's like our box." Yeah, in there's an 8-way distributor. Power. It's it's POC, power over coax, where networks and access points and everything use PoE, power over Ethernet. So mine's P over power over. I built it myself. I wired up everything myself. A lot of work. I did the compression ends and everything for coax. So it's a lot of work, not easy, but yeah, I do it. But anyway, like I'm saying, everything is streamed over the internet. We had a gentleman in this channel that said he wanted to use his cell phone as a hotspot and run the new on Android TV box and stream everything through there. Yeah, you could do that. That little box, you could put that in your car. If you had a AC to DC converter, you plug it in your lighter, and you can watch you can watch movies in there. You know, hook up a little monitor, tap into your auxiliary system, and you can, or you just get a little blue box. If your vehicle doesn't have Bluetooth, you can get a Bluetooth device. They're very inexpensive. I have that in mind. My vehicle did came with Bluetooth, but one thing I forgot was to activate the phone system. But that's all right. But so I can play my wireless BT to the car's multimedia system from my phone. It works perfectly. Yeah. But the box is not designed to record with a microphone. I had one of those, but they were flaky because you need extra power source. But what I got in the vehicle can work off USB, so I have an extra uh, device to plug into the socket and give me either Type C, high voltage. It's pretty good. I mean, that's what I got in my vehicle, and I got the solar panel in there. So if you want to learn more about that, you just go head over to my solar Albert's Voice Solar. You can learn about how I have a solar panel. I'm talking about it's an EFTE. It's 27 inches. It's almost 30 inches long and 13 inches wide. That's an RV panel. You wouldn't, if you saw my vehicle, you couldn't tell it was in there. Yeah. But it's in there. So that's keeping the battery fully charged. And I could turn off accessories, keep the vehicle parked. Well, now it's hot, so I don't have to have the air conditioning on. But I mean, I can run off the solar panel, run devices off that can charge things. Well, could say I'm in the store. I don't want to charge my phone. I could charge it in the vehicle while I was in the store. Or, you know, whatever it is I want to charge. I do the same thing here inside the house. I have panels on the window. Well, you can't tell. If you drove by my house, you couldn't tell the panels in the window. I know. But, yeah. So we got that. And we got battery. I got a battery box. I could take it portable. I could take it to the mountains. I built it myself. But it's all there on my channel if you're interested in that. Now, getting back to this, yeah. So, you would disable the phone link. I already did mine already. Skype, I don't need that. Right click, disable. Xbox services, I'm not using it. But that's about it here. Or you can let this program do it. But you still have to do it over here. And this program will tell you what to keep and what not to keep. And if I hit optimize, it'll do it automatically. It optimizes the system as well. But this is, you know, this is telling you, because there's things that running that should not be running if you're playing your game. Well, I'm recording, so that's what that is. Especially this game. This game. This game. This game. I don't play this. This is Raid of Shadows. Oh my god. I haven't played it in a long time. I should play it. And I should, man. It's like, yeah. This is worse when it comes to money. I haven't played with it too much. A lot of YouTubers promote it. Well, they sponsor. They get a little money from it, I guess. But yeah, it's a medieval game. It's not what you think. You know, you have a team maybe of 7, and you're a wizard and you do magic and you're fighting the demon. But it plays the same way over and over again. I don't like those kind of games, but I just tried it. Anyway, besides all that, this is so if you need to stop things to run in the background. So the first thing to do before you play, let's give it an example. World of Tanks Blitz, or even World of Tanks, you know, whatever you're playing from that company, run this and it'll free up RAM. Because right now it's telling me 2 processes can be freed up, so we only have partial power. It'll go to this when it cleans up everything. But yeah, so that's about it. So The purpose of all this is to free up system resources, stuff that's running in the background. Another way to bring up stuff to running in the background would be if you have this program. It's free. It's free as well. It's from Wise. So you would go under. Let's see, anything here? Okay, click the privacy. You got system tune up, you would have optimized. But I wouldn't do that with that there. Okay, so we have startup manager. I mean, it'll tell you what needs to be set up, and this is how long things take. So you have to decide what you really need and what you don't want. Or you can do startup, and you do the same thing. You just can, if you don't want to play around with this, you can do it from in here. But sometimes you have to go in here still to do it because programs like Team will not show up in here. I stopped a lot of stuff from running. You don't need all this stuff running. You don't want it because it slow down your machine. And sometimes, if the program crash, it'll create another instance, and you have two of them running at the same time. Just to be careful. Okay, well that wraps up this. Was just a video on how to clear up the system resources and make your machine run better. And this goes for everybody on the planet. You know, it's not just here. You know, and Wi-Fi issues and stuff like that. But if your Wi-Fi is giving you problem on your laptop, you need to remove the driver. Don't delete it. Just uninstall it. Reboot Windows 10, 11, 7 this goes for it too. Same thing with server. And Windows will reinstall the driver back to its originally operating system, operating features. Because you have to, you have to do it if it's acting up on you. Sometimes the WinSocket goes bad. Sometimes you might have to run flag key R. You type in CMD. You type in ipconfig space /flush DNS, all one word. And hit that. That will clear out the DNS. Yeah. But the WinSocket is different. That's when something goes really wrong. That's when you can't get a connection or nothing's working. Sometimes my malware might come in there and mess up your socket. I'm telling you, everything you do on your computer, you should not save nothing to the computer. You should have an external storage system, cloud, whatever it is, in case your system gets corrupted or malware will hit it or something like that. Then you can just restore Windows and start from scratch. You don't lose your files. Okay. And this whole computer system and the memory system, everything is based on, if you got 8 gig of RAM, you're going to have a swap file that will give you maybe up to 6, well, it's supposed to give you maybe 8 or 9 or 10. It depends on the system. What Windows will determine. They used to use a hard drive, which is a mechanical hard disk, which was slower to be acting like memory. But now you got memory SSDs, EMCs, BWN, and they come in different sizes, and they are acting as RAM. So you might not even notice if any slowness anymore when it comes to RAM. Oh, good Lord. Alright, so that's about it. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So this is for everybody on the channel. This is not just for the tank games, Star Trek, everything else. Well, Star Trek, you need some good RAM and a good graphics card. The better the graphics card, the better resolution you're gonna have. This monitor here is 1080p. This is not an LED I'm using. The one next to it is LED, but I have that in portrait mode. This is landscape mode. This is 46-inch. But I have 4K. This system, even though it wasn't built for 4K, it can handle 4K. Yeah. But it's better to get something that supports 4K if you want to go 4K. And then you play your games in like realistic battles and stuff like that. You know, if you want to go that route. But remember, you know, you need a lot of RAM. I would recommend 32 minimum, and then the RAM on the card as much as you can go. They have limits now, but you want them to handle Direct 12 as a minimum. But yeah, if you're serious about gaming and stuff like that, if you don't really care, you just have a regular system. Some love you using your cell phone to play games on. You can use your cell. I mean, cell phone is really fast. Mine is octa-core. I got 8 core. You got 6 gig of RAM. You know, but it doesn't matter how much RAM and how fast the phone can work. The phone is using. They have the apps all based off Java. Java is faster than using the old, you know, what Windows uses for programming, for apps and stuff. It's much faster. So, but you know, storage is the problem on the phone. You know, 32 gig of storage, 64 gig, 128, 256. You know, you're gonna run out of space once you start using 4K, saving 4K images, doing 4K movies and stuff. It's gonna fill up that phone like a banshee. So you can get what you can. You go cloud. You know, pay for cloud service. They only give you 5 gig, or maybe I think it's 15 gig now standard. But like I said, hey, all right, check and see what's running in your background. Also, another way of checking is to run oh my goodness gracious. That's another thing. Microsoft, they used to have that over in the system tree on that opposite side. That thing pops up all the time. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. This is super anti-spyware. I'm not gonna run it, but you should run this. Turn off, shut down all your apps and everything in the game. Run this and see if anything's lurking in the background. Oh, I got a little metal. Look at that. Oh. Wow. Anyway, so you run this. This is free. They'll tell you, hey, you want to try the full version for 14 days. You can do that. And let this run. So this will run this tell you anything running in that shouldn't be running on the computer. Mostly cookies. You know, a lot of cookies get dumped. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you could pay for this and have it block the cookies from coming in. But remember, this doesn't have to run in the background. That's the only problem. It's like a memory program that have to run in the background. And that's it. So remember now, if you're buying a computer, you want at least 8 gig, preferably 6 gig. Those 4 gig systems are really 3.85. Actuality, with everything running in the software, you're looking at 2 point something. You can go down to 1 gig, you know, on that. So 8 gig, you'd have like, you know, close to 5, 4, something free. 16 gig will have you close to 10, 12 gig. A 24 gig system, you're gonna have close to 18, 16, you know, 19 gig free. A 32 gig system, you're gonna have 27. I used to have 27 free. That's a lot. You can even get a 64 gig system, you know, you'll have close to 32. Well, the more RAM, the more the system can perform. The processor, everything has to work together. You know, I hope they took care of there's a bottleneck problem they used to have. Hopefully they fixed that to make the system run smooth. But I still see it. One of the curators on YouTube, I see he plays different kind of systems. Yeah, but there's always that bottleneck that holds up, you know, not running. Yeah, because that's the way it is until they get rid of that. Until we go in more into maybe a mainstream of 128 gig. I'm sorry, 128 bit. Because right now we're still like bouncing between 32 bit, 64 bit apps. You know, it's not 64 bit. We're not even doing 120 bit. You know, 128 bit. You know, they still not. They're still bouncing around. You know, that's the problem. So the more bits, the more pipeline coming in. You know, the more faster the systems will run. Sorry. Right now, my system runs clean. I run WiseCare Cleaner. Run it, let it check up the system. I should be able to do this with this on. Yeah. Now, there's a free. The free, you won't have access to certain things. You won't have access to privacy, and I forget what else it disabled, but it can work. They do have free apps. This company's been around for years. I used to help them with this program, betas. I don't do it anymore. Give them advice because they were trying to get it to work. But they've come a long way. So far, it's stable. I didn't see there's another new version, but but it does work. It cleans up the registry. Remember, you have to defrag the registry maybe every 3 or 6 months. You got to look at it. This program will let you do that. You want to speed up the machine. This is what you do. Sometimes the mechanical hard drive will go bad, and you have to, you're gonna have to replace it. You should get an SSD or EMC, whatever your computer can support. And that's it. You don't even need desktop systems anymore. You can get micro PC, but you gotta make sure that micro PC supports 4K video. Don't get one that doesn't. Get as much RAM you can afford. Okay, so this is it. So it took 1 minute to check on the system. Okay, so I'm just showing you the advantages and what you need to do. But remember to disable the team, Microsoft Team, which will show up here. Right click and click, click on disable. Reboot the system. It won't come up again. Pop up on its own. It drives me crazy. Be playing a game and pops up, and then you lose the game because too much stuff is popping up in the face. It's a nightmare. That's why I put on task. I put this as automatic because I can hit it by accident and then get hit the buttons and stuff like that. So I went back to my mechanical keyboard. I had mechanical keyboard, and the Microsoft keyboard that I bought, it's okay, but I'm so used to this keyboard. And plus, it light up. But I need something. I need to go fast when I'm playing my game. All right, hey, thanks for watching. And anything else I'll think about, we'll cover. Pretty much everything has been covered on the channel, because everything now is in the cloud. There's not really much to talk about apps. Everything comes off the Microsoft Store or using Apple. Come off the Apple Store. You maybe use Android. Comes off the Google Play Store. Chrome OS comes off the Chrome OS book. You have so much different choices today. Things are a lot different. But you still have to get RAM. You still have to get improve the SSD. You back up the hard drive. You can clone the hard drive to do this free software that can do that online if you need it. I have examples. And you just clone the drive, the old drive, to the SSD, and you just boot it, and the SSD boots up 1, 2, 3 because it's memory. Boom. That mechanical. You turn an old computer into a fast computer. Anyway, hey, take care. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that's it for now. Bye until next time.